Okay, so hopefully this will work. I am going to show you the Intellgo Unit Studies Astronomy. Let me get up to the cover page here. So this is what it looks like when you open it. We opted for the PDFs because they were cheaper and we didn't really need a disk. The kids have their own separate hard drives that we drag and drop each one of their unit studies onto. So yeah, wait a minute. Did I? Okay, hopefully you can hear me. So this is what you see. This is the grade 3 to 5 astronomy unit study. It has a table of contents. You can just scroll through it. Also, if you just click on any one of these, it'll bring you right to it. So the kids can easily get to where they left off the next time. There's a little description on how to use the unit studies. They recommend a vocabulary notebook. We're not doing that. I don't test my kids. I don't expect them to study vocabulary, but I do expect them to be exposed to vocabulary. So, troubleshooting if your links don't work, because you do need internet in order for these to work. What the objectives for the unit study are. I printed this page out, the materials that you would need for the unit study, because there's activities involved in it. Most of them I feel like are fairly reasonable. This is the big one right here. Once I figure out where to buy separate styrofoam balls instead of 6 packs of styrofoam balls, I'll let you guys know, because that gets expensive. And if you only need, 2 and it's a 9-pack, it kind of stinks. But all these activities look really cool, and you can even, like anything in blue, you can click right to it. But I'm going to go back here. So I'm back to, oh, I went too far. Okay, so it shows you the activities that, all the things that you'll need for each activity and which activity it's for. So you can go to that. I plan on going through each chapter before they get to it, so I know what's going on. All right, so here you go. After the materials list, you're right into chapter 1, Introduction to the Universe. And it even, again, gives you the materials that you need for this chapter. And it also has other resources they suggest for this unit study. We recommend that you also read various age-appropriate biographies with your children. It even gives you a few biographies that might interest them. And we will be doing that part with Abigail. Have your children identify all unfamiliar words they encounter as they encounter them in this chapter. Yes, I do ask that they do that. They look them up in the dictionary so that they know what the words mean, so they understand what's going on. And then it just goes through the activities. And an activity is really just a section in the chapter. So welcome to the universe. And then there is, you can see to begin. So it's kind of like the teacher's guide and the unit study all in the same thing, but the kids can go through this by themselves. So it tells you what to do with this worksheet down here. This you would need to print up in order for them to write it, unless you have a way of altering PDF files. So then it goes down here. Welcome to cosmology, otherwise known as the study of the universe. And then it actually, so these here are links that they have to click that brings them to the internet. Windows to the universe. There is what the cosmos are and what cosmology is. And then you can just close out of that. Oh, and you're right back into the unit study. So use the following questions for discussion as writing prompts. What does looking back in time mean? Why do astronomers believe that looking at the universe is looking back in time? How do astronomers believe the universe was formed? And then it opens up into, we'll click it, a YouTube video.
Sodium atoms, which are at about 100 kilometers.
I already started watching this. So this is a 2016 documentary. I'm obviously not going to play the whole thing. It's almost an hour long. I would say, you know, have my kids watch like 15 minutes a day or something like that. Or unless they're really interested and they want to keep watching it, that's cool too. But I don't want them to just kind of zone out on it and not actually take anything from it. So just to give you a little idea of what this video looks like.
You wouldn't know it to look at the sky, but something is seriously wrong with the universe. Astronomers have suspected it for some time. Now they're pretty sure. For one thing, the universe may be billions of years too young. For another, part of the universe has been missing, a big part.
And again, you close out, but you would go back to the unit study. An activity that's encouraged you to keep a space calendar. So it's really all a bunch of links kind of organized all in one place for you, which is great. So basically what you're getting here is well-organized links. There is a little bit of information directly in the unit study, but you can see there's readings, and I'm going to show you the first activity. Oh, here's hands-on activity. So it gives you all the directions and everything for the activity. Like I said, this is fairly inexpensive. And here's another worksheet to fill out. I really like how it's set up. I like how they basically have it set up as a book of well-organized links. Things for them to think about. So it's not like a textbook. They're not just sitting here and reading a textbook on the computer, which I would be against. I don't want them staring at a screen for hours at a time. So this really works for us because, you know, they can do one section of it and then come back. I feel like we're probably going to have a month for each unit study. And you can see how it's organized into topics, which is great. And then at the end of each chapter in the unit study, at the end of each chapter in the unit study, they have some questions and then a little bit further options for things to do to just kind of put what they've learned so far into action. And they even say the method of output is not as important as the reflection that takes place as they're thinking through and answering the questions. So this is actually a really cool idea. It gives them ideas on how to kind of use what they've learned. And then it goes into the sun and the materials that you needed. They're all set up the same way. Vocabulary. This isn't actually the vocabulary. This is just like what you're doing with the vocabulary is anything that they hear or read throughout the unit study. And see, you can, oh, there we go. Click on that and go to, activity 2.2. So they're all sections in the chapter, and they call them activities because that's really what they are. So you go to another video.
There's a perpetual hydrogen bomb exploding at the center of our solar system, with megaton explosions erupting every second. It's our closest star, the sun.
Close that out. Watch the screen do crazy things. I'm not going to go through every link. It's just... So they can even kind of explore and get lost in here if they wanted to. So I think it's pretty cool. I think it will work well for us because it'll feel like the kids are moving through something as they click on each link and not just reading a book, which who is the reluctant reader. He's a good reader. He just doesn't like it. I think this really worked well for him. And it'll incorporate videos and activities and stuff like that. Plus, we'll also be using our own supplements, which I can actually do another video that shows, what we chose to read and watch and supplement with. But I really don't feel like it needs supplements. So it's the same thing, and then goes on to the moon. Chapter 3, and you can see all the links as we go by, and they have this, what I already know about, what I want to know about, what I learned about. And sometimes what they already know about something, they'll find out it's not true, which is fine. And then I'm just going to go up to chapter 4. So it's the same thing, do an activity at the end of each chapter. And then the other planets. So then if you go down to the end, sorry about the dog. And this is the last page, 141 pages. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, sorry, the dog just started barking, which is kind of good. We're at the end anyway. So I will show you the physics one later, but you can see how they're all pretty much set up the same way with the links inside each page. So it's definitely something that you need internet for. If you're going to be without internet, then it's not going to work. So I hope that helped you decide whether or not it was right for you. And there is a link below that you can follow if you want to check out more of their unit studies as well. Rico, shh.